Right, okay then Bob. What I'm just going to show you, because some people have been asking about places to get dimple picks from. So there's lots of places you can get them, but I'm just going to show you a quick way that you can make your own little dimple picks, nice and easily, out of just spring steel. Obviously it's nice to have the real ones, but it just shows you a real quick way that you can make some. So what I've got here is just a couple of bits of 17 gauge spring steel. Okay, spring steel you can buy from a lot of places online, things like craft shops, etc. Anyone gets stuck with it, I can always send you a couple of bits in the post. But literally what I'm going to do first off, the idea to make a spade pick is something that's thin enough to go down into the plug. Obviously Dimple locks anyway with quite large keyways, so hence I can get away with a nice bit of sort of thicker spring steel. Anyway, the first thing I need to do is to make my actual spade right at the tip of the bit of spring steel here. So what I'm going to do, just get a pair of pliers, and I'm just going to make a little bend up. I'm probably going to make it probably about 3 or 4 mil, perhaps up to 5 mil, because the idea is I can file it down once it's bent. And I'm going to make a nice 90-degree bend on that. So I'm literally just going to grip it, make a nice bend, just make sure it's that sort of rough 90 degrees. Okay, so hopefully you can see that, just made a little bend there. Okay, next thing I need to do, I've just got a vice block here, or in fact it's a block off one of my lathes, and all I'm going to do is basically, with a good old flat-headed hammer, not a ball hammer, it needs to have a flat head. I'm just going to literally bash the end of this down, making the tip of the little bit of spring steel here nice and flat. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit loud. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, hopefully just so you can see a little bit. Okay, so just going to start to make this flat. Hopefully that's in view. Okay. Obviously keep your feet, your fingers well away from the end. Okay, so I'm really giving it a bash on that nice and flat. Okay, good few bashes. Note as well how I'm doing one side, then I flick it over, do the other side, keep it as sort of even as I can. Okay, just a little bit more. Okay, that should do it. Okay, so you see how I've created this little hook. It's slightly gone off to one side, almost like a hockey stick shape. So I'm just going to grab that and bend that just round a little bit more to make that 90 degrees. Okay, so I'm just bending it up. Okay, that should do it. Okay, so you can see the sort of shape that I got there. Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so what I'm going to now do is just reduce the height of this down a small amount. Now I would tend to do it on an abrasive wheel, but I'm just going to snip this down just again with a pair of pliers this time, just a small amount. Okay, just going to off. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, and the last one I'm going to do, because not everyone's got abrasive wheels, so I'm just going to pop this in a vice a sec, just so I can file that the end of it down just a small amount. Okay, just get that in the vice. I'm going to have to put it at a slight angle because these jaws are off to one side. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a file. Okay, so just got my file here. I've got quite a big file. Just going to zoom back out a little bit. Okay, it doesn't have to be this big, just what I've got at hand. I'm just going to file that down a bit where I obviously cut that and it leaves a bit of burr. do. Okay, and again just file that off. Okay, I probably need a little bit more off of that, so I'm just going to just reduce that a tiny bit. Okay, my camera action isn't that good. Just a very small amount. Just about there. A bit fiddly to get in there. Okay, that'll do. Again, I'm just going to file that down just to take off the burr. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so last thing to do, obviously at the end, I'm just going to form a little handle on there. So I'm just going to make a little bend, just about there, and nice and crudely, I'm going to bring this round just once more, just about, oh, slipping out my hands. Okay, so it's not a work of art, okay, but it's going to allow me, hopefully, to pick a lock. Okay, so I'm going to spin the camera around, okay, because I've already put a little lock in the vise. Oh. Okay, so let's just get this in focus. Okay, it says my little lock. Okay, and this is just a basic little Dimple lock. It's actually one that I took off a job on the shop door about a week or two ago. Okay, so I've just got a basic little tension tool there. I'm just going to pop that into the lock, get a bite. Okay, so you can see I'm getting movement on that plug, just there. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now I've got my little spade pit there. Okay, I might in a second, I don't know yet because obviously I've just made it, I might have to flatten off this back end a little bit. I'm going to give this a go and just see how I get on. Okay, so I can slide it across those pins. Okay, so I'm not going to run over exactly how you pick a Dimple lock because obviously you sort of know that. So I'm just going through. Okay, so I'm getting some turn on there. So again, I'm just looking for any pins that bind. I might have to reduce the height of this again, so I'm just testing it in there just to. Okay, so I can feel the pins going down. Yeah, but I just need to just file that a little bit off. Okay, so I'm just going to do that now in the vise. Okay, it'll always take a little bit of fine tweaking. Okay, but the idea is just to show you, hopefully, sort of quick way to make a Dimple pick. Okay, I'm just going to file off that back end a little bit, just to be sure it's nice and flat. Okay, so let's just pop that back in. Okay, that's going over a little bit nicer. Okay, so just going to start to feel for bound pins. Okay, got bound one there. So I'm just teasing that down. And there. Okay, so I'm just going through looking for bound pins. Okay, I might just come over from this side to see if I can get onto them a bit easier. So I'm finding the back end of it where it's slightly rounded. Just wanting to, that's better. So I'm getting more feel this way. Again, just landing on those pins and just testing the bound pins. Oh, a little bit deep, it just goes there. Okay, so you can see it's not a work of art, and obviously if you've got more time you can take your time obviously to make it a lot better than I have, but hopefully that gives you an idea of how you can quickly sort of make a little spade pick. You know, in all honesty, what I'd probably do is just take my time, a little bit of file, just sort of back off this or make this back end of the pick a little bit more flat. Maybe spend a little bit more time just getting this a bit more square. But you can see it does work. So sometimes when you're out of sight, if you haven't got a sort of pick that's instantly going to work in the lock, you know, mess about a bit, and hopefully you can see you can make your own little tools like this. Okay, cheers.